Good evening, fuckers, and welcome to the next Train Simulator Classic request video. It's currently absolutely pissing it down here, but it won't be in the game because, yeah, I've set it to make sure it won't. Anyway, getting ahead of myself a bit there. This request came from Mick DC. I bet that shocks 1,000,001 of you. And one thing that might shock, certainly may well shock Mick DC, is this route which he has chosen. And he had no idea about this, but this is one of the routes that was on my list to cover. So yeah, I am particularly pleased to have this request sent my way. So we're on the Isle of Wight. We are doing the entire Isle of Wight line. We are going to be starting at Ryde, Pier Head, and making our way to Shanklin. I think it's an absolute fucking outrage that that is the entire Isle of Wight line. Ryde to Shanklin. That's it. But yeah, that is indeed it. So, yeah, because we are on the Isle of Wight, the train that we are going to be using is a two-car Class 483. The train that is made up of 1939 former London Underground stock, specifically former London Underground Northern Line stock. So the entire route is not quite 8.5 miles. So yeah, it's very short. So yeah, in order to lengthen it a bit, we will make it an all stops service. It will be a bit ridiculous, you know, to not stop at all stops. And as for the specifics, it's summer, it's clear weather, and it's 10 AM. So let's get this one up and running. So here we are. Here is our Class 483. We've got it in the old red, I think it's the old London Transport livery. So let's get the doors open, we'll let people off, and there may be a few more people getting on. Yeah, train on a pier. I live in Southend. I'm very used to this. We've had one on our pier for as long as I remember. And I can remember back to when I was 2 years old. So yeah, we're talking over 50 years. Anyway, here we are in the cab. Basic doesn't begin to describe it. Right. There's no AWS anywhere on this line, so we've got to be a bit on the vigilant side. So, right, Shanklin Station, yeah, is our final destination. As you can see, it's only 8.36 miles, but the first stop, which is Ryde Esplanade, yeah, not even a third of a mile. So let's get underway. Now, while we're on the pier itself, I mean, the speed limit when we are leaving the station is 15. But I suspect the majority of drivers probably wouldn't go anywhere near 15 while they are on the pier. We're now entering a 20 mph section. Indeed, we can now do 20. So, it'll go to 18. Now, I must admit, I do really like this line, and I do really like driving the 483. It's I love the way that the controls work on it. There are a couple of other emus that are driven in exactly the same way. I just find it's a really great method. Once we pull out of Ryde station, I'll explain it, because I'm sure you're eagerly awaiting that. Coming a bit slow, but okay, Ryde Esplanade, here we are. There aren't that many lines where, yeah, you get off at one station and you can still see the station that you left. So yeah, you can see the very obvious London Underground carriage setups there. Okay, onwards. So yes, the control method of this thing, at 25%, which is the shunt mode, up to 50%, which is series, and then you take it up to 75%, that's parallel, and take it up to 100% is weak field. But whatever mode you are in, say we are currently in series, if you throttle down, it actually stays in the mode that it was in. You have to actually put it into off to stop it from running in the mode, you know, the highest mode that it was previously in. We are currently on a 1 in 78 downhill section, which is why we were gaining so much speed. But that's now switched to a 1 in, actually it's 1 in 95, we're still going slightly downhill. Yes, it's around here towards Ryde St John's Road station where, yeah, there are more gradients than anywhere else on the line, and unsurprisingly, when you've seen, you know, just how steep they were, yeah, they are the steepest gradients on the line. Oh, see, I've gone straight in the weak field, which I really did not want to do there, but yeah, because I had done that, and it was completely accidental, but yeah, I had to move the power handle into off to be able to begin slowing down. So yeah, if you make a mistake like that, you wish you hadn't. In fact, I have made a mistake here. There are only 3 power settings on this thing. There isn't the weak field. On the throttle here, once you go to 50, if you push up again, it goes up to 100. There isn't a 75 setting. So just as we enter Ryde St John's station, the line speed goes up to 45, and I'm pretty sure that's the max speed anywhere on this line. Now, although there are double rails here, they don't actually operate as double rail. There can only be like one train running through this section at a time. So you see there's another train over there. but that will stay stationary. That's another 483, but in the Network Southeast colours. So we haven't got many people getting on or off here. But one other thing you can clearly see, Ryde St John's, is the it's the depot where the trains are kept. They don't have a huge number of them. I think they only had like 5 or 6. Okay, onwards. I don't know the distance to the next station. I'm pretty sure the next station is Smallbrook Junction. So even though these Class 483s date back to 1939, amazingly they are not the oldest electric loco in the game. That honour goes to the Class 402, the 2HAL, which I have driven it in a previous request video. And it is close between the two. That is for sure, but yeah, the 2HAL just takes it. Yeah, we do literally have a whistle as the train horn on this. And in fact, all of the London Underground trains from this time, not just those on the Northern Line that ended up on the Isle of Wight, they all had whistles rather than any sort of actual train horn. It's probably just as well if they were sounding them while they were underground. Yeah, you wouldn't want a bloody great train horn going off. But because these trains are quite light, 2-car unit is about 50 tons. And they have a decent amount of power to them as well. Again, 2-car unit has something in the region of 675 horsepower. They have great acceleration. And the brakes are reasonable. They're not fantastic, but they're good enough. But yeah, you get these things going at full speed. Yeah, the brakes are really having to work hard. So here we are at Smallbrook Junction. So if you were going onto the, yeah, you see the sign there, the steam railway. This is where you would be getting on. It is just a small sort of like heritage railway. It's not. It's not an actual like main service. So probably not ideal to go straight into series from standstill, but nevertheless we've done it. Now if you look on Wikipedia for the Isle of Wight Railway, you will find there a map from, it's either 1913 or 1914. And it shows the extensive railway network that the island had. And all of the towns on the island were served by the railway in some way, shape or form. Of all the areas that were that had their railway service absolutely butchered by fucking beaching, and there were plenty of them, you know, he never once considered the impacts that his cuts would have on the people, or you know, any businesses, big or small. Yeah, he treated you all with equal contempt, didn't give a monkeys about how you were going to be affected. But of all the areas that were affected, I think the Isle of Wight was the worst. This small 8.3 mile section is all that's left of the entire railway network. when you consider that it means that, you know, major towns on the Isle of Wight, you know, Newport, Cowes, Ventnor, none of them have a railway service of any kind. Now, I did actually start slowing down a bit early. I mean, I kept my speed to 40 because of this speed limit change here, but we're about to be hitting a downhill section, and it's quite a steep one in 78. So yeah, our speed is going up, so we need to control that to keep us to this 40 mph speed. So braiding station coming up in a mile. Still on this 1 in 78 downhill section. I'd actually forgotten about the downhill part here. It is now starting to level out a bit. It's still 1 in 127. It's still steep enough, but we now need to shave off some speed to get ourselves down to 20 for the approach to braiding station. So we are fine now as far as the speed goes. So yeah, we're into the 20 mph zone now. The braiding station is just up ahead. I've not been paying attention. I've left the braking quite late, although I think we might actually get away with this. You can see here where there used to be a second line, but it's gone. So yeah, here we are then at braiding station. Hear the church bells in the distance. Okay, off we go. So line speed is back up to 45. I think the next stop is Lake. won't take it up to 45. Let's do the fastest we have anywhere on this run yet. We already are doing the fastest I've done at any point on this run. So there we are, we're at 45, but yeah, we have a speed reduction down to 15 and then to 10 coming up as we approach. Sandown is the next so yeah, I think yeah, Sandown, then Lake, and then Shanklin is the final station after Lake. If memory serves, Lake is a very, very small platform. I mean, none of them are particularly big, but we have a yellow signal aspect here. I've overdone the braking here because I didn't take into account the 1 in 77 uphill gradient we are on. Well, this should certainly ensure that yeah, our speed goes, there we go, below the 15, so we are now fine as far as the speed limit is concerned. I think we can put a little speed on. In fact, yeah, the gradient has now leveled out quite considerably. There we go. So that train is why we had the yellow aspect. That will almost certainly pull away once we are in Sandown station. Yeah, there you go, it's already underway. Quite a rare sight that actually, trains passing each other on the Isle of Wight line. I think I overdid the braking there slightly, so we'll carry on crawling along for a moment. No, that's too slow, let's just stop here. So we had yeah, a fair few people getting off. We did get a fair few getting on as well, so yeah, this is Sandown and its surroundings. Doors shut. Onwards to, yeah, I'm pretty sure now the next stop is Lake. Whoa. Yeah, that was not good. There's really no excuse to be speeding on the Isle of Wight line. That's, yeah, dreadful driving from me, that one. once we're into this 45 zone, which we are now. So yeah, take you straight into series. So yeah, Lake is the next station. So we're on a 1 in 80 uphill section here. I don't want to go too fast because yeah, the station is like a third of a mile away. But this is the penultimate station of the line. Yeah, very short platform here. There you go. So, Lake, like all these stops on the Isle of Wight line, it looks like a really nice place. I've never actually been to the Isle of Wight. I would like to go there. I know Jim's been there a few times, and not just because he's been banged up in Parkhurst. So onwards to the final stop of this run, Shanklin Station. Not had any external shots of us on the move, so here we are. So we're on a 1 in 88 uphill, which certainly helps with our deceleration, but chances are we're going to be decelerating a lot quicker than I would like, because yeah, we're already fine as far as the 15 mph speed limit goes, and we are still as near as damn it a third of a mile away. So here we are, Shanklin station, the end of the line. And that, yeah, was the entire Isle of Wight line, which, yeah, I make no secret of the fact that I think that is fucking outrageous that this is the entire Isle of Wight railway. But there we go. Yeah, it's a great route to drive, and the 483 is a great loco to drive. It's the only issue is it's a bit short, and yeah, that speeding error really unforgivable. There's no excuse for speeding on the Isle of Wight line at all. So there we go. It was a bit of a short one, but I mean, you know, doing a run on the Isle of Wight, it can't be helped. It is a short line. You know, we went from start to finish, all 8.3 miles of it. So there we are. That is this video done. Yeah, good one that, despite being so short, and we'll see you at the next one.